Hey there. Ready to really dive into this pile of articles all about fixing business cash flow. We're going to unpack fixing business cash flow, 5 simple steps, and we're going to pull out the juiciest advice
Yeah.
so you can walk away and feel like a cash flow ninja.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll break down every single step, give you some real world examples, and we'll even touch on some of those business book classics that the article recommends
Oh yeah.
for people who want to
Go deeper.
yeah, dive a little deeper.
All right, let's jump in. Step 1 is all about improving cash inflow, so getting paid faster.
Right.
We all know how annoying it is to wait on late payments.
Yeah.
It's like giving your clients an interest-free loan.
Yeah, it's the worst.
Right. Not ideal when you're running a business.
No, not at all. It's not just annoying either. It can really derail your plans.
Yeah.
You need that cash flow to be consistent so you can cover your expenses so you can invest in growth,
Right.
even just to sleep soundly at night,
For sure. So how do we make sure those invoices are paid, like ASAP? The article suggests sending invoices immediately, like the second you finish a project. What do you think about that?
I think it's a great place to start. The longer that invoice sits around, the less urgent it feels to the client.
Right.
Sending it out right away keeps you top of mind and shows how important it is that that payment comes in.
Okay, so speed is key, but what about the actual invoices themselves? Are there any strategies for writing invoices that will get paid faster?
Absolutely. Clear, concise invoices are really important. Make sure that all the details are correct, easy to understand,
Yeah.
clearly itemized,
Mhm.
and make sure the due dates and the payment terms are front and center
Oh, yeah.
so there's no
No
confusion.
room for error.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's where technology comes in,
Oh, yeah.
right? All those accounting software programs.
Huge lifesavers
Oh, yeah.
when it comes to making professional-looking invoices and automating the whole process.
Absolutely. Like QuickBooks, FreshBooks, Xero.
Right, all the big names.
Okay. So many options out there.
Streamline your invoicing and even send out automatic payment reminders.
Oh, that's great. Speaking of reminders, don't be afraid to follow up. Sometimes all it takes is a gentle nudge,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You're not being annoying. You're
Mhm.
just making sure that everything is running smoothly.
It's just good communication.
Exactly. Now, the article also suggests offering clients a variety of payment options.
Okay.
The easier you make it to pay you, the quicker they'll probably do it.
Right. So credit cards, PayPal, bank transfers, give them the option.
Yeah, exactly. Make it easy.
It's all about convenience. What about incentives for early payment?
That could be a good one. A small discount, say 2% off if they pay within 10 days, can really incentivize those early birds.
And boost your cash flow.
Exactly.
Win-win.
Yeah, everybody's happy.
Client gets a discount, you get paid faster.
Yep.
The article mentions this graphic design agency that completely transformed their cash flow by requiring a 50% upfront payment for any new projects.
Right.
That's a bold move,
It is.
but it clearly worked for them.
Yeah, it did.
Do you think that's something more businesses could benefit from?
It depends on the industry and the kind of work they do.
Mm-hmm.
For some businesses, especially those with longer project timelines or higher costs up front, it just makes sense.
Right.
Not only does it help cash flow, but it also shows commitment from the client.
Right. It's all about finding what works for your specific business.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Step 2 is all about reducing unnecessary expenses.
Okay.
I feel like this is where we get to be detectives.
Yeah.
And uncover some hidden cash flow drains. What do you think are some of the most common areas where businesses overspend without even realizing it?
You'd be surprised how often those small recurring expenses add up, like those software subscriptions you signed up for and you never use,
Right.
or those memberships that seemed like a good idea at the time,
Yeah.
but haven't really given you anything back.
It's so easy to fall into that trap, you know? You
Yeah.
sign up for something and it just keeps renewing.
Month after month.
Before you know it, you're hemorrhaging money.
Yeah.
So step 1, audit those expenses.
Exactly. Sit down with all your statements, bank statements, credit card statements,
Yeah.
and go through every single line.
Mm-hmm.
Ask yourself, do I really need this right now?
Yeah.
If you don't cut it,
Like a financial cleanse.
exactly.
Get rid of all the toxins.
Yeah,
And it's not just about cutting expenses, it's also about negotiating better deals with your suppliers.
absolutely.
Right.
Don't be afraid to ask for a discount, especially if you're a loyal customer or buying a lot at once.
Right.
You might also be able to negotiate better payment terms, which can give you a bit more breathing room with your cash flow.
A lot of people, I think, hesitate to negotiate
Yeah.
because they don't want to seem pushy,
Right.
but really it's about being smart.
Yeah, just being a savvy business owner, looking out for yourself.
Absolutely.
And most suppliers are open to negotiation, especially if it means keeping a good customer.
For sure. Now, the article also emphasizes the importance of running a lean operation. This is really relevant for startups and businesses that are growing.
Right.
So what does it mean to go lean
Yeah.
when we're talking about cash flow management?
Well, it's about being careful with your resources
Yeah.
and not overspending on things like inventory and staffing.
Right.
Do you really need 6 months worth of supplies right now?
Yeah.
Or could you get by with less and just order more often?
Yeah. It's about finding that balance
Yeah.
between efficiency and having enough to meet demand.
Right.
What about staffing? How can businesses be more strategic about hiring to avoid overspending on payroll?
Hmm. It's easy to want to hire ahead of growth, but that can really strain your cash flow, especially if that growth doesn't happen as fast as you expected.
Mm.
Start by looking at your current workload and finding the bottlenecks.
Yeah.
Could you streamline some things or automate tasks
Yeah.
to free up your team's time?
Work smarter, not harder.
Exactly.
Technology can be a huge help here.
Absolutely. So many tools out there that can automate tasks, streamline those workflows, and boost productivity without breaking the bank.
The article gives this great example of a restaurant that was having trouble with food waste.
Oh, yeah.
They started analyzing their sales data to predict demand better and adjust their inventory purchases.
Smart.
And they saved thousands of dollars every month
Right.
just by ordering smarter.
Yeah. That's a great example of how data-driven decisions can really impact your bottom line. By understanding your past sales patterns, you can make better choices about inventory management, staffing levels,
Yeah.
all those important aspects of your business.
Data is power.
It is.
Okay. I think we've covered a lot on reducing expenses. Let's move on to step 3. Managing debt wisely. This can be a kind of scary topic,
Yeah, it can.
but it's so important to have a handle on it.
Absolutely. Debt can be a really powerful tool for growth when it's used strategically, but it can also be a big burden if you don't manage it carefully.
Right, so let's break down the article's advice on how to handle debt like a pro.
Okay, sounds good.
What's the first step to taking control of our debt?
Well, the article says it's important to understand the different types of debt and their interest rates. You want to focus on paying down that high-interest debt first, like credit cards, because that interest can really add up fast.
Yeah, it's like stop the bleeding first
Yeah, exactly.
before you worry about the less urgent stuff.
Right.
So how do we tackle those high-interest debts? What does the article suggest?
One popular way is the debt snowball method. You list all your debts from smallest to largest, no matter the interest rate.
Okay.
Then you just focus on knocking out that smallest one first while making minimum payments on the others.
So it's about momentum and that feeling of accomplishment as you knock those smaller ones out.
Exactly. That little psychological boost can help you stay motivated. And as you pay off each one, you roll that amount you were paying into the next smallest one.
Right.
And it creates a snowball.
A snowball effect.
Yeah.
That's great for people who like to see progress and check things off their list. Right. But what about those who have larger debts and high interest rates? Does the snowball method still work?
It can, but sometimes it might be better to focus on the debt with the highest interest rate first,
Okay.
even if it isn't the smallest. This is called the debt avalanche method,
Mm.
and it can save you more money on interest in the long run.
Okay, so it's about looking at your situation.
Yeah.
Choosing the method that works for your goals and your personality.
Exactly. There's no one size fits all.
Some people are driven by quick wins, and other people like to see those long-term savings.
Right.
Now, the article also talks about debt consolidation as a way to manage debt.
Yeah.
This is where you take out a new loan to pay off all those old ones, hopefully with a lower interest rate.
Right.
Have you ever thought about debt consolidation?
I have. Yeah.
I haven't personally, but I know it can be really helpful for streamlining those payments
Right.
and potentially getting a lower interest rate overall.
Absolutely.
So what are some of the things businesses should think about before going for debt consolidation?
Well, first of all, shop around.
Yeah.
Don't just take the first offer you see. Look at the interest rates, the fees,
Yeah.
the repayment terms. Make sure it's a good deal for you.
So it's like shopping for anything else. Do your research.
Exactly.
What else?
It's important to understand that debt consolidation doesn't just magically make your debt disappear.
Right.
You still have to pay it all back.
It's not a quick fix.
No, it's a strategic move.
You need a plan.
Yeah.
Speaking of being strategic, the article really stresses avoiding unnecessary debt.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Right.
Before you take on any new debt, ask yourself, do I really need this to grow my business? Will it make enough money to justify borrowing?
It's about being a careful borrower.
Yeah.
Not just taking on debt because you can,
Right.
but making sure that every decision to borrow aligns with your overall business goals.
Exactly. And the article has this great story of a retail store that was drowning in credit card debt. They were
No.
struggling just to make the minimum payments. Their cash flow was in trouble.
What did they do?
They got a business line of credit with a much lower interest rate.
Okay.
This let them consolidate their credit card debt,
Oh, nice.
lower their monthly payments, and free up some cash flow.
That's a great example of how smart borrowing can actually improve your cash flow.
Yeah,
By getting access to cheaper financing, you can reduce your interest burden and create more space in your budget.
right.
Okay, so we talked about paying down existing debt and avoiding new debt. What's next in our debt management journey?
Well, the article mentions the importance of building a strong credit history for your business.
Yeah.
Just like your personal credit score, your business credit score can affect your ability to get loans and good interest rates.
That makes sense. So how do we build and keep a good credit score for our business?
Paying your bills on time is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
This means everything. Supplier invoices, utility bills,
Right.
loan payments. Lenders want to see that you're reliable when it comes to paying your bills.
Consistency is key. What else should we be mindful of?
Keep your credit utilization low.
Okay.
So don't max out your credit cards or lines of credit.
Right.
Lenders like to see that you're using credit wisely and that you're not relying on it too much.
It's about showing you can manage your money
Yeah,
and that you're not living beyond your means.
exactly.
Are there any other factors that can affect a business's credit score?
The length of your credit history is important.
Okay.
The longer you've been in business and the more established your credit is, the more confident lenders will be.
So it's like building a reputation.
Yeah, exactly,
Okay.
over time.
If you're just starting out, don't stress too much if your history is short.
Okay,
Just focus on building good habits, pay your bills on time,
right.
use credit wisely, and your score will go up over time.
That's reassuring.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we've covered a lot about managing debt wisely. Let's move on to step 4, which is about building a cash reserve for emergencies.
Okay.
This is something I think all business owners know they should do.
Yeah. But it can be tough to prioritize when there's so many other things demanding your attention.
Right.
Why is it so important to have that emergency fund?
Think of it as a safety net for your business.
Right.
You know, unexpected costs always pop up.
Right.
Equipment breaks down, the economy takes a hit, the market changes suddenly.
Right.
A cash reserve gives you the flexibility to handle these things
Okay.
and peace of mind.
Without going into debt.
Yeah. Or making drastic cuts.
It's like having a cushion
yeah.
to absorb those shocks.
Exactly.
I like that analogy.
Good.
So how do we actually build this magical cash reserve? Where do we even start?
The article says to start by setting a goal.
Okay.
How much do you want in your emergency fund? 3 months of operating expenses.
Okay.
6 months, more.
I guess it depends on the business and the level of risk.
Yeah, a seasonal business might need more to cover those slower months.
Right.
A business with stable income might be okay with less.
Okay, so it's about assessing your needs.
Yeah.
Setting a goal that makes sense. Okay, once we have a goal, how do we start saving?
Make saving a regular thing, like paying your bills.
Okay.
Set up automatic transfers from your checking account to your savings each month,
Right.
even if it's just a small amount to begin with.
Consistency is key.
Absolutely.
It's like building any muscle you have to work it regularly to see results.
Yeah, and those small amounts really add up over time.
For sure. Like if you save $100 a week, that's probably $200 a year.
Exactly.
And as your business grows, you can bump up those contributions.
Right.
What other strategies does the article suggest for building a cash reserve?
Well, another tip is to redirect any money you save into your emergency fund.
Okay.
Remember all the money we talked about saving by cutting subscriptions and getting better deals?
Yeah.
Don't just spend it.
Put it away.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's a double win.
A double win.
You save money and you boost your emergency fund.
What about businesses that have seasonal ups and downs in revenue?
It's even more important for them to be proactive and save during their busy periods.
Okay.
Aim to save a bigger chunk of your income during those good times.
Okay.
So you're prepared for when things slow down.
It's all about planning.
Yeah.
The article tells this great story about a construction company that ran into a problem when a client was really late with a payment.
Well, yeah.
They were able to cover their costs and stay calm because they had built up that emergency fund.
That's great.
It really highlights the peace of mind you get from being prepared.
Yeah, it's not just about the money.
Right.
It's about the emotional side of knowing you have that safety net.
It lets you make good decisions and focus on your business
Right.
without freaking out about money.
Exactly.
It's about taking control,
Yeah.
creating security for yourself and your business.
Absolutely.
Okay, I think we've covered the importance of having an emergency fund, ready for step 5.
Yeah, let's do it.
This is all about increasing your revenue streams, and I can tell you're excited about this one.
Oh, I am. Yeah, this is a good one.
So why is it so important for businesses to have multiple streams of income? Why not just focus on doing one thing really well?
Relying on just one source of income is risky. It's like putting all your eggs in one basket.
Right.
What happens if that basket falls?
It's like putting all your hopes on one bet, not very stable.
Right.
So how do we diversify and make our business more resilient?
The article suggests looking at complementary products or services,
Okay.
things that go well with what you already offer.
Mm-hmm.
What else could you give your customers that would make their experience better or solve a problem for them?
Right. It's like creating a package of offerings
Yeah.
that all work together, giving more value to your customers and generating more revenue.
Absolutely.
Another popular approach is subscriptions.
Oh, yeah, those are great.
Right. Could you offer memberships or packages or some other kind of recurring revenue?
Yeah, that predictability is great for your cash flow.
It's like a safety net of income coming in regularly
Yeah.
instead of always having to find new clients.
Yeah. Right? You have a constant flow coming from your loyal subscribers.
Exactly.
Plus, subscriptions can help you build stronger relationships with your customers.
Absolutely.
Because you're interacting with them all the time.
Yeah, it's a win-win. You get that steady income and your customers get the value and consistency of a long-term relationship.
I love that approach.
That too?
What other strategies does the article suggest for making more money?
Don't forget about upselling and cross-selling to your existing customers.
Yeah, okay.
They already know and trust you.
Right.
So it's easier to sell them more things that go with what they already bought.
It's about giving them solutions and adding value.
Yeah,
If you really get your customers, you can offer them things that make their lives better.
absolutely.
The article gives a great example of a gym that went beyond just regular memberships.
Oh, yeah.
They started selling their own fitness clothing and online training programs.
Art.
This brought in extra cash and got their members even more engaged.
Yeah, it's like building a whole world around their main service. I love that.
Me too.
Okay, we've talked a lot about increasing revenue. Before we wrap up this part, let's mention those book recommendations from the article.
Okay, yeah.
These are business classics that dive deeper into the strategies we've been talking about.
Right. For anyone who wants to really master this stuff,
Yeah.
these books are a great place to start.
Okay, let's give our listeners a quick rundown of the reading list. First, we have The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason. This is a true classic that uses stories from ancient Babylon to teach us about money.
It's amazing how relevant that old wisdom still is today.
Right.
This book really shows how important it is to pay yourself first, live within your means, and invest wisely.
It's like a crash course in finance from the ancients.
Yeah.
Next, we have The Lean Startup by Eric Ries, essential reading for any entrepreneur.
Yeah, especially those just starting out.
This one is all about running your business efficiently, cutting out waste, and focusing on what matters.
Rees talks about the minimum viable product,
Okay.
which is about launching quickly, testing your ideas,
Great.
and adapting based on what your customers tell you.
That's a great way to avoid overspending
Yeah.
and stay flexible in a market that's constantly changing.
Exactly.
For those struggling with debt, we have The Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. This one's tough but fair when it comes to getting out of debt and taking control of your money.
Ramsey is known for his debt snowball method,
Yeah.
which focuses on paying off your smallest debts first to build momentum.
Right.
It's a great way to break free from debt and build a strong financial future.
Next is Profit First by Mike Mikulovich.
Okay.
This book challenges how we think about accounting
Yeah.
and says that business owners should prioritize profit right from the start.
It's a really different idea, but it makes sense.
Right.
Most businesses think profit is what's left after you pay everything.
Mm.
Mikulovich says you should take out your profit first before you pay any expenses.
So it's like paying yourself first.
Yeah, but for your business.
You're putting your business's financial health first.
For-
How does that work in real life?
Mikulovich says to set up different bank accounts for different things,
Right.
like income, expenses, profit, owner's pay, and taxes.
Right.
As you get paid, you put a certain percentage in each account.
So you're not tempted to spend your profits because it's already set aside.
Exactly. And it makes you more careful with your spending
Yeah.
because you only have a certain amount for expenses.
It's like going on a financial diet.
Yeah, but in a good way.
You're making choices about where your money goes and making sure your business is making money.
Right.
Our last book is Multiple Streams of Income by Robert G. Allen. This is a classic for making passive income, building multiple streams of revenue, and reaching financial freedom.
Alan talks about all sorts of ways to make money,
Right.
from real estate to online businesses to selling information.
It's like a buffet of money-making ideas.
Yeah,
And it all connects back to our talk about increasing revenue,
absolutely.
right? The more ways you have to make money, the stronger your business will be.
Yeah, you can handle economic ups and downs. Market changes, anything unexpected.
You're not relying on just one thing.
Exactly, and those extra revenue streams can help you grow and expand.
Yeah, it's like having multiple engines driving your business forward.
Great analogy.
So there you have it, 5 great books that go deeper into everything we've been talking about.
Yeah.
They're like the extended versions of mastering your cash flow.
Right, so we've talked about those books and how they connect to the 5 steps.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground, practical tips, real-world examples, and inspiring books.
Right.
But we're not done yet.
Oh yeah, there's more.
We've got more to share in part 2 of this deep dive.
So stick around.
We'll be back to share even more insights from those books
Yeah,
and talk about how you can put all of this into action.
absolutely.
Welcome back. Before we jump into the next layer of these cash flow insights, let's revisit those book recommendations. Instead of just like listing them off, we'll weave some of their key takeaways into our discussion so we can add a little bit more depth to those 5 steps we've been looking at. What do you think?
I think that's a great idea. Sometimes those concepts really hit home when you hear them in the context of a book you know and love.
Yeah, for sure. So remember, The Richest Man in Babylon. It might seem kind of old school, but the principles about building wealth are surprisingly relevant today. One of the key takeaways that ties into getting paid faster is the idea of valuing your work and not undercharging.
Yeah, that's so important. When you undervalue your work, you're not only cheating yourself, but you're telling clients that your time isn't valuable.
Right.
And that can lead to late payments or even arguments about invoices.
Yeah, it's like setting the tone for the whole client relationship.
Right.
If you're confident and show your value from the beginning, clients are more likely to respect your payment terms. And speaking of respecting your time and resources, that brings us to The Lean Startup by Eric Ries. This book is all about running a business efficiently, getting rid of waste, and focusing on the things that really matter.
It's a must-read for every entrepreneur, especially those who are just getting started.
Yeah.
Rees introduces the minimum viable product, which means launching quickly with a basic version of your product or service, getting feedback from customers, and then making changes based on that feedback.
It's like testing the waters before you jump in.
Exactly.
And this connects to what we were talking about with reducing unnecessary expenses.
For sure. The lean startup method encourages you to be resourceful, to find creative ways to test your ideas without spending a ton of money.
Right.
It's about being mindful of every dollar and making sure it's helping your business grow.
It's about avoiding those flashy expenses that look good but don't actually do anything.
Exactly.
Okay, let's move on to our next book, The Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. This one's a classic for a reason. It's a tough but effective approach to getting out of debt and taking control of your money.
Yeah, Ramsey's debt snowball method is a great example of a strategy that works for both personal and business finances. It's all about paying off your smallest debts first to build momentum,
Okay.
even if they don't have the highest interest rates.
So it's more about the psychology of seeing progress
Right.
than just focusing on the numbers.
Exactly. For a lot of people, that feeling of accomplishment is super motivating and helps them stay on track.
And once you pay off that first debt, you can roll that payment amount into the next smallest debt,
Yeah.
creating a snowball effect
Exactly.
that speeds up the process.
Right. And as you pay off each debt, you free up more cash flow that can go towards those bigger debts or back into your business.
It's like a positive spiral towards financial freedom.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's talk about Profit First by Mike Michalowicz. This book really challenges how we usually do accounting.
It does.
It says that business owners should focus on profit first, right from the beginning.
It's a big idea, but it makes a lot of sense. Most businesses think profit is what's left over.
Right.
After you pay all your bills, Michalowicz says you should take out your profit first before you pay anything else.
So it's like paying yourself first,
Yeah,
but for your business.
exactly. You're making sure your business is healthy and that you're not just working to pay bills.
It's like building a strong foundation for your business, one brick at a time.
Great analogy.
How do you actually do that?
Michalowicz says you should have separate bank accounts for everything.
Okay.
Income, expenses, profit, your pay, taxes.
Yeah.
As you get paid, you put a percentage into each account.
So you're not tempted to spend your profit because it's already set aside.
Exactly. And it forces you to be more disciplined with your spending.
Yeah.
because you only have so much money for expenses.
It's like being on a financial diet.
Yeah, but a good one.
It's all about making conscious choices
Yeah,
and making sure your business is making money.
absolutely.
Our final book recommendation is Multiple Streams of Income by Robert G. Allen.
Okay.
This one's all about creating passive income, building multiple streams of revenue, and achieving financial freedom.
Alan covers so many different ways to make money,
Yeah.
from real estate to online businesses to creating and selling your own products.
It's like a whole menu of ideas for making money.
It is.
This connects back to our conversation about increasing revenue streams, right?
Absolutely. The more ways you have to make money,
Yeah.
the stronger your business will be.
It can handle anything.
Yeah, economic downturns,
Right.
market changes, anything unexpected.
You're not putting all your eggs in one basket.
Right, and those extra revenue streams can also help you grow and expand your business.
It's like having multiple engines pushing your business forward.
That's a great way to put it.
So we've talked about those 5 books and how they connect to the 5 steps for fixing business cash flow.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground, practical tips, real-world examples, and even some inspiration from those books.
But wait, there's more.
There is.
In the final part of our deep dive, we're going to talk about a really important shift in how you think about cash flow.
Okay.
That can totally change how you manage your business and set you up for success in the long run.
It's about moving beyond just reacting to problems
Right.
and being more strategic.
Okay, so stay tuned for part 3. All right, welcome back to the final part of our deep dive on fixing business cash flow. We've made it, you guys, we've talked about all the steps, all the examples, even those book recommendations. So now it's like time to put it all together.
Yeah, exactly. We've covered those tactical steps to improve cash flow, but now it's about changing your mindset, going from just reacting to things to being proactive.
Okay, I love being proactive. So what does that mean when it comes to cash flow?
Think of it like going from putting out fires all the time to actually planning ahead. You're anticipating problems and opportunities instead of just dealing with them when they suddenly happen. And the key to that is cash flow forecasting.
Okay, cash flow forecasting, that sounds kind of scary, like something only big companies with finance departments do. Is it really something that smaller businesses or solopreneurs need to worry about?
It really is. In
Mhm.
fact, it's probably even more important for smaller businesses
Okay.
because they often have tighter margins and less room for mistakes.
Right.
Cash flow forecasting can help you make better decisions about everything,
Okay.
from hiring to managing inventory to even planning for growth.
So it's like having a financial roadmap to help you navigate all the ups and downs of running a business.
Exactly.
But how do we actually create these forecasts? Do we need to be financial wizards? Do we need fancy software?
You don't need to be a wizard, and while there's great software out there, you can start simple with a spreadsheet.
Okay, phew, that's a relief. So what are the main things that go into a cash flow forecast? What information do we need to gather?
Start with your past financial data. Get your bank statements, income statements, anything that shows your income and expenses
Yeah.
over the past few months or even a year if you have that data.
So we're trying to understand our past cash flow patterns
Yeah.
to help us make better guesses about the future.
Exactly. Look for trends and seasonal changes. Are there certain times when you make more or less money?
Right.
Do you have regular expenses that happen at specific times?
It's like being a cash flow detective,
Mhm.
looking for clues.
Right.
So what do we do once we've gathered all that historical data?
Then you need to try to predict your future income and expenses. This is where it gets a bit trickier, but you can use your past data as a guide.
So if we know our income usually goes up in the 4th quarter, we can include that in our forecast for next year.
Exactly. And if you're planning any big changes, like launching a new product or expanding your market,
Right.
you need to add those projections into your forecast too.
It's like creating a simulation of your business, trying out different things, and making adjustments along the way.
Right. And remember, forecasting isn't about knowing the future exactly.
Yeah.
It's about having a framework to help you make decisions,
Right.
a tool to help you see potential problems and opportunities so you can make smarter choices.
That makes sense. It's about planning, but also being flexible when things change.
Yeah.
Any other tips for making our cash flow forecasts better?
One big one is to compare your actual cash flow to your forecast regularly.
Okay.
This will help you see any differences and make changes if you need to.
So it's not a one-time thing.
No, it's ongoing.
We need to keep checking and adjusting as we get more information and as our business changes.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to bring other people into the forecasting process. Your accountant, financial advisor,
Right.
or even your team members.
Different perspectives can help you see risks and opportunities that you might have missed.
Exactly. And those team members might know about upcoming projects, delays, or other things that could affect your cash flow.
It's like having a financial brainstorming session,
Yeah,
bringing everyone together to create a more complete and accurate forecast.
exactly. And by getting your team involved, you're also building a culture of financial awareness,
Right.
where everyone understands the importance of cash flow and how their actions impact the business.
That's huge. It's not just about the numbers.
No,
It's about creating a mindset where everyone understands how important cash flow is.
absolutely. And that shared understanding leads to better decisions and a more unified approach to managing finances.
Okay, I think we've covered the main points of cash flow forecasting. It's about using historical data, projecting future income and expenses, tracking actual cash flow, involving other people, and being flexible. Anything else?
One last thought. Cash flow forecasting isn't just about surviving. It's about giving you the power to make strategic decisions that lead to growth and a successful business.
I love that it's not just about putting out fires, it's about building a solid foundation for success.
Exactly.
So take what you've learned today,
Yeah,
apply it to your business.
and watch your cash flow take off.
That wraps up our deep dive into fixing business cash flow. We've covered so much: practical tips, mindset shifts, and of course, those great book recommendations.
We hope you've enjoyed this journey as much as we have.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep that cash flowing.